Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition on Immigrate with Ammy. If you're just seeing my face for the first time, you're welcome. My name is Ammy, and today I'm here with Dami T. Dami is a Nigerian YouTuber living in Australia, and she'll be sharing how someone can migrate to Australia without spending a dime. Yes, you heard me right. It's possible. So, you know how we do it here, right? Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, and share with your friends and your loved ones. Please, after watching this video, go to Dami's channel and show her some love by subscribing to her channel and give her videos a thumbs up. Thank you. Hi, Dami. Thank you so much for
Hi,
joining me. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for
I'm pretty
having me.
excited we are doing this today.
Oh, yeah, same here.
Okay, so could you please introduce yourself better to my audience and how can, someone migrate to Australia through visa sponsorship?
Okay, yeah, thanks, Amy. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Dami. I migrated to Australia about 3 years, not yet 3 years, it'll be 3 years, I think, in October. And yeah, I've been living here. So the way I migrated to Australia without spending a dime was I got an employer who sponsored me, myself, and my family. So what happened is I went on the company's website, I applied to the job, I went through the interview process, and then I was eventually offered a role. After accepting the offer, the sponsorship started. And like, of course, in the offer, it entailed like everything, the type of visa they were going to sponsor me on, and whatever relocation cost they will be covering. And basically, the way it worked, they covered every damn thing from visa fees to flight costs for myself and my entire family. So that is the brief way, like that's the brief way I came into Australia without spending a dime.
Wow. Okay. What I just want to ask this question. I did plan to
Yeah.
ask it, but
No,
because of
that's
what you
fine.
just said, yeah. So what
Yeah.
kind of job did you get? In what field?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm an accounting graduate. I have my ACCA, and so I've been working as an auditor for I think going to be 10 years soon for the past 9 year plus. But the truth is anybody who is coming in on the type of employer sponsored visa, which is what I came in through, you need a minimum of 2 to 3 years experience, regardless of the role. So you can always check any vacancy you see. So far you have 2 to 3 years experience, you meet the visa qualification itself. So
Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah.
Okay, so could you please share some of the perks or benefits an Australia company is willing to cover when sponsoring a candidate?
Oh, okay. So with sponsorship, it works different for different companies and like it's different entities and then they have their policies in place. So, but for most people who come in as auditors, who are the people I have around me that I can say for? So most audit firms would sponsor you, pay for your flight tickets, pay for your family. I think what I've seen is even people that are family of five. I mean, we are a family of four. Myself, my husband, and 2 kids. They were willing to pay for our flights and visa fee and all related costs, ticket costs, family sponsorship, any other relocation costs. Like if you need to cargo your items, whatsoever, they are willing to pay for it. And then they have a cap of what they can cover. So, and then again, some of those things, it depends on your negotiation skills. So you need to be able to also negotiate to say, hey, like if they say they are not covering anything, speak to them. So far it's within the law or their power, they will be willing to do it. And I think the last thing was airport pick up. So they picked us up at the airport, like offer that. And then my employer did not offer Airbnb or temporary accommodation, but I know someone who came in recently. Our employer offered temporary accommodation for the first 1 month. So it just depends again on how you bargain and have the conversations during the recruitment process.
That's a good one. I remember I was
Yeah,
watching your video, your immigration to Australia video, and you talked
yeah,
about negotiation power. So it's
exactly.
good to know that you can actually have, you have the right to negotiate,
Yeah,
because sometimes you'll be like, oh, I don't just want to say anything so that, it
Yeah, I
doesn't
don't want to
spoil my
lose it.
chances.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No, but it's not like that's the mindset we come in with as
Right?
Africans. I used to tell
Mm-hmm.
people that sometimes we're brought up to keep quiet, but with these people, they are happy to have a conversation. It doesn't change anything, but
That's right.
always speak up. I think is one thing I've learned here. Like always speak up. It won't change their mind. You already end the role, right? So it's just other conversation outside of your capability for the role. So it doesn't change anything.
That's true because I remember back in Nigeria, I'm a Nigerian,
Yeah.
right? And I know you are.
Yeah.
So in
Oh,
Nigeria, we tend not to ask questions. So when I came
mm-hmm.
to Portugal, it was one of the things I learned. Always
Yeah.
ask questions, they will answer
Yeah.
you. They are very responsive,
That's it.
compared to where
So
we are coming from.
that's coming from.
Okay,
Very
thank you
true.
so much, Dami. So
You're welcome.
you've been living in Australia for going to 3 years now, right?
Yeah.
Can you
Mm-hmm.
please share some of the benefits of living in Australia as a resident?
Okay, so I'm as a resident, temporary resident. Okay, yeah, maybe resident. Because with Australia, we know we came in on a temporary visa, so it's different from
Right?
someone who has a permanent resident. So that's just what I wanted to clarify. So we are temporary resident, agree. So some of the benefit coming from an Africa moving to this side of the world is, of course, there's peace of mind. I used to tell people like that peace of mind, money cannot buy it. So it's a big deal for me. Like
I know,
there's peace
right?
of mind, there's security of life. Like, you're not, it's not as if it's 100% safe as well. You still have to be careful.
Mhm.
But then again, there's a level of security and calmness around you as against, if you lived in Lagos, all the kitty kitty kata kata. It's not like that. You know what I mean? And some of these things, they shorten lifespan, but we don't know. We can't tell if we have been living there. So for me, it's me like even health wise, I would say like it's all these things sometimes we don't know what is causing to your health. And again, you can properly plan your life if you live in a country like this. Once you're able to get like a permanent residency, like the uncertainty is out of the way, you can plan your life. Like there's endless opportunity for you to be able to plan your life.
That's right.
Also, if you are a family, proper training for your kids, opportunities for the kids as well. And finally, I would say there is money in Australia. I
I
say to a lot of
know.
people like
Yeah.
there's money in Australia. You, regardless of the job you're doing, there's dignity of labor. So you can't say because this person is this, like you can't overlook anybody in this country. There's dignity of labor. Whatever you're doing, there's money. Like
Get
if
paid.
you're
Yeah.
willing to work hard. So yeah. So those are the benefit I think.
And the wages over there is quite high. My cousin
Yeah,
lives
it's
there.
quite high. Yeah, it's quite high.
Okay, so apart from the route you came to Australia with your family, right? Are
Yeah.
there other pathways that one can use to migrate to Australia?
Oh, yeah, there are several pathways for coming to Australia. The first one, and I think which is the most popular we know, is the student route. People come in via student, like school, and then from there they're able to get the graduate visa after they finish their program, and then maybe eventually get permanent residence. That's one. The other one is the state nomination or the state nomination program as well. It's called a skilled visa, that
Okay.
one, but it can either be the state nomination, which is the 189 or 491 visa, or the 190, which is I think the federal, I would say. I'm not sure, but anyway, the 190, 189, or 491. So with that one is a skilled program. You have to apply for submit an expression of interest to
Okay.
the Australian. I'm trying to remember the website now. imi.gov.au, submit your expression of interest. And once you submit your expression of interest, you put in the state you want to. And then that's for 190. You don't need to pick any state. Just you can put two state of options and then go to the actual state's website and fill out their registration of interest or whatever the requirements of the state is. So with the way it works is immigration itself, they have their requirements and the states have their requirements. So that's another way through the skill program, through the student route, or finally you can come in the way we came in through the employer sponsored visa. And how do you do that? Get a job with an employer who is willing to sponsor you. So when you're searching, be sure like the job vacancy you're applying for has visa sponsorship attached to it. So these are the three most common ways of, and then there's also the business program as well. As an entrepreneur, there's an opportunity for you to come here, just that the capital requirement for that visa is quite high. So yes.
That's a good one. And I know a lot of people are always looking for visa sponsorship jobs. So I think we can talk about the websites where people can actually go and apply for these jobs. Yeah, I will talk about that in another video so we don't get this video very long. So what are the jobs that are in demand in Australia?
Okay, so at the moment, there's currently a list of 10 in-demand jobs. I don't know if I can say everything, but from
Yeah,
the
you
top of
can.
my
Okay.
head,
Okay.
I'm just saying from the top of my head, I know there's early childhood teacher, there's registered nurse, there's health, anything health related, just know that it sells in Australia, social work and all those things. They are looking for construction managers, civil engineers, ICT or system analysts, software app programmers, and then electrician and chefs. Like those are the main jobs in demand at the moment. So, and again, always check for vacancy and see what you see if you're looking for sponsorship as well. So
that's a good one. From the videos I've done so far on my channel and some comments I've also gotten, a lot of people are looking for construction jobs. So that would be a good one. Yeah. So
they're looking for a lot of construction managers because at the moment in Australia, there's been a lot of people not building because they are not people, they don't have enough people to work. So there's skill shortage in that regard that I know for sure, like everyone knows about. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. So what advice would you give to someone who is looking to immigrating to Australia, like get prepared, towards getting this beautiful opportunity?
So there's this saying I say, I don't know, that for me in life, what I believe is preparation meets opportunity.
Right.
And the very first thing I would say to prepare is, and I will just back it up with a story. I remember initially when I wanted to relocate, I started with Canada. I started trying Canada. And then it did not work. But I did my IELTS. It's not like the Canada even progressed so much. But I just knew there was a time I did West, I did IELTS. I just left it somewhere. And then the opportunity for Australia came 2 years down the line. And I had that IELTS, and that's what I used for my Australia when I was coming to Australia. So I would always say there's nothing that is a waste. So if you're thinking about relocating, most of these countries will require you to write an English exam. So start with doing your IELTS. That's one step in the right direction. Start if the route you're pursuing is employer sponsorship, even when you're not ready. I know people who have just graduated and then you're like, oh, I don't have the experience yet. It's fine you don't have the experience yet. In that 2 years, what can you do to better yourself? Start checking the job vacancies. If you share the website for on your channel, check, like, if you're still preparing, check the website, check what are the job requirements for this role I want to apply for in the next 2 years. What are they looking for in the people they need? So start, if you need to advance yourself, if there's any additional course you need to do to meet up with that requirement in the 2 years you're looking at. So start doing all of those things. Also, there is no harm in learning any skilled work. And is that what it's called? Any skilled, I don't know.
Unskilled, skilled work or something.
Yeah, so try and learn any of these things, People know how to make hair, people know how to cook. Those are that's part of the things you need to prepare
anything that has to do with handwork.
Handwork, yeah, handwork. I don't even know what I was saying, skilled, yeah, handwork. So any of those things are very helpful when you come to an environment like this. And finally, the preparation is start the mental model shift. The way people would be saying, oh, if you go abroad, you will do this type of job, you will do that type of job. You need a mental model shift so that you will not die of depression or living a lie because you don't want people to know what you're doing. The way people say if you go abroad, you'll be working in supermarkets.
Restaurants.
Yeah, if you're working in a restaurant. But what I would say is the person working in Urbano supermarket and the person working in Walmart, they are two different. They are, see,
Right.
the person working in Walmart can build a house
There's,
with the money he's earning in
they
Walmart.
say there's a dignity in labor abroad,
There's the,
no
yeah,
matter what you're
the, the,
doing.
the person working in Ebano cannot build a house with it. It's not a cost,
Right.
except you want to go to your village and just start 1 year, do foundation the next year. But the person working in Walmart, if he or she plans their life properly, can build a house in 1 year. Like,
You're
of
right.
course, you take loan and all these things. So you also need to mentally start preparing yourself, because living abroad requires a level of mental model shift. So yeah, I think that's just basically what you'd start with, depending on what you want to. Of course, if you're coming in as a student, start saving, start researching about the school. You can even apply now, defy your admission, so you have the money ready and things like that. So those are the few things I think you need to like start thinking about if you're preparing to relocate to Australia.
Thank you, Dami, so much. And yeah, I'm going to ask this question. You talked about IELTS. So if
Yeah.
someone wants to go to travel to Australia through visa sponsorship, the person would need to write IELTS.
So the way it works is, if you're coming in, so with the employer's visa sponsorship, there are two streams. One stream, the one I came into, is the visa 482, and then there's
Okay.
another stream which is the visa 186. So the visa 482 I came in with is a temporary residence. 186 is a permanent residence, so it's automatic PR, and people come in through either of them, right? So with 482, you don't need to write IELTS, the one I came in with. You don't
Okay.
need to write IELTS so far, but the caption is, so far you can prove to the immigration that you
I can
studied in
speak
English.
English. Okay.
Yes. So what you need is to go to, I know a lot of people went to their university and got a letter, but because I had IELTS, it was just easy to just, I have it already, just take, instead of me going all the way back to my school to go and get a letter. So that was why I used mine, right? But at the end of the day, regardless of the visa you come into, if you're going to get permanent residence in Australia, you still need to show proof of English. So if you're going to move from that 482, which is temporary, to the permanent one, which is 186, you still need to write IELTS. So there's no escape. That's what I tell people. Like, people like, what visa can I come to Australia without English? There's
People
no
are
visa.
scared of writing exams.
Yeah, and yes, but there's no visa. You can come in temporarily without English, but you will still need it at the end of the day. So that's the way it works.
So it's better to get yourself prepared now before
Yeah,
moving,
start writing it, start preparing.
right?
You might not even get it, like, but the point required is not as high depending on the permanent residency route you're going through. So because the 186 is not points based, but if you're going through any of those skilled programs, the 189, 491, and 190 visa is points based. So you're accumulating points. So that's when people get really concerned with getting high points in English, so that it can help them. But if you're coming through an employer sponsored visa, you need English for is almost the barest minimum. Trust me, you don't need too much. I wrote my English exam without reading because the point they were asking me for was not so high. So
Okay. Thank you so much, Dami,
yeah.
for sharing. I'm
Thanks.
sure this
Thanks for
will
having me.
definitely help my audience. And I'm going to also display the website you talked about so that people can go there and make more research for themselves. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing. It's been nice
Thanks
speaking
for
with
having me.
you.
Thanks for having me.
And have a beautiful day ahead.
And you too. Thanks everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.